everyone, I'm Alanah and welcome to Gamebug. Today I'm going to be talking about a Polygon article that was published a few weeks ago about straight white male privilege in gaming. Now it should be said that privilege is basically an advantage. If you are privileged, it's not your fault, you didn't do it on purpose, it means that you were born into a demographic that statistically faces less discrimination than anyone else. So, statistically, straight white males, especially in gaming, face the least discrimination and games are usually catered to them. It's not something you should feel guilty about, it's not something people should ever abuse you about, it's not your fault, but it's something that I feel like a lot of straight white males should be aware of, and maybe so should everyone else. So what I'm going to do is go through the list and see if I disagree or agree with the things that Polygon has written as advantages that males have over everyone else. Straight white males, that is. So number one, here on my iPad, is I can choose to remain completely oblivious or indifferent to the harassment that many women face in gaming spaces. Yes, I think that there are a lot of straight white male gamers who act like it's not there or say it's not there, but they won't listen to women telling them that they're wrong, and obviously I can't do this as a woman because that would be very selfish. 2. I'm never told that video games or the surrounding culture is not intended for me because I am male. I've never been told that video games aren't for me because I'm a female, so I don't know if that one's that much of an advantage, and I've never really heard of any other woman say that, but I guess you can sometimes feel like they aren't because the representation of women is so awful. 3. I can publicly post my username, gamertag, or contact information online without having to fear being stalked or sexually harassed because of my gender. I don't think anyone should post their contact information online, firstly, because there's a lot of weirdos out there. I don't think that's a gender thing. I'm sure that, you know, there are men who would stalk other men and crazy women who would stalk men too, so I don't feel like that one's probably an advantage, really. I will never be asked to prove my gamer cred simply because of my gender. I would say that men would never have to do that, and I have had to do this in the past. I usually just say, no, I'm not gonna humour you there, but I'll have people ask me like, oh, list your top 5 favourite games then, and I'll be like, you know what, no, because they just expect you to say like Angry Bird 5 times or something, because you're not a real gamer. Number 5 is, if I enthusiastically express my fondness for video games, no one will automatically assume I'm faking my interest just to get attention from other gamers. No, I don't think any male gamer would really be accused of trying to get attention from other gamers. Maybe if they make a YouTube channel and have really like clickbait kind of titles on their videos, that would be the same thing and it would have nothing to do with gender, but as a female, I know when I was a little bit younger, I've always loved games my whole life, and when I was maybe 14, I did sometimes, well, I still get it, but more than have people accuse me of faking my interest to get attention because I was like a little fangirl. I was more excitable and I wanted to wear the gaming jewelry, and I was just so over the top about it because I was, I don't know, younger, I guess. 6. I can look at practically any gaming review site, show, blog, or magazine and see the voices of my own gender widely represented. Well, I'm glad they used the word practically because, for the most part, this isn't true. I used to write for one website that had mostly females, and I know that there are a lot of different review sites that are dedicated to representing different views, so I don't agree with that, no. I mean, practically, maybe a lot of them I would say are catered to or written by straight white males, but definitely not all of them, you just have to know where to look. 7. When I go to a gaming event or convention, I can be relatively certain that I won't be harassed, groped, propositioned, or catcalled by total strangers. I don't really know about that. I mean, I have only ever been catcalled once, really, or maybe a few times, and that was when I was in cosplay. And I was wearing like a tight Spider-Man costume, but I would say the exact same thing happened to the guys who were at the same convention who were dressed as Spartans, meaning that they were shirtless. I think that they probably would have dealt with the exact same thing, so I don't know if that one's so much of an advantage. I would say no in my experiences, but I'm sure there are a lot of women out there who I have heard from who would disagree with me on that. 8. I will never be asked or expected to speak for all other gamers who share my gender. Probably not, no. So yes, I would agree with that. Sometimes there is a pressure where people ask me a question like, what's it being like a girl who plays video games? or what's it like being a girl who plays video games, and often I'm like, fine, thank you, because I think they expect you to speak on behalf of all females, and it's kind of uncomfortable. 9, I can be sure that my gaming performance, good or bad, won't be attributed to or reflect on my gender as a whole. Definitely, and I definitely feel pressure from this one if I'm ever at a preview event, or actually any time where I'm playing a new game in front of people I don't know. I am overly conscious of my performance because I am concerned that it will be a, oh, you're not good at this because you're a girl kind of thing. So that is definitely something that I would assume that a lot of girls would deal with, and I definitely deal with that in a professional sense.